men make dating so difficult. They make it more difficult than any other societal group on this planet, I feel like. Of course, there are the outliers, but as a group, as a collective, they're the most hard-headed to deal with when it comes to dating, relationships, commitment, like all that stuff. And I'm just curious as to why. I feel like it could all really be so simple, and I know that because I've seen it be simple with other types of people. But when you're dealing with the black man, they make you go through hoops and loops just to ultimately end up with nothing. Like, I really want to know what happened to black men specifically that caused them to have so much, like, anguish about being in a relationship or being committed. Like, I really don't see how it's that big of a deal to be committed to somebody. They're the main ones to not tell you their true intentions. They're the main ones to lead you on. They're the main ones to play games. And then me being one of the ones who's only attracted to black men, it's really tough because there's not much to work with. And it's really frustrating. What caused them to be so standoffish towards relationships and commitment? I really want to know. I don't know, maybe it is time to expand my horizons and see what the other races have to offer, because this is just not it. I genuinely want to know.
Hello.
Hello, Kalina. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing fine. Thanks for bringing me up.
No problem.
So what I was saying earlier in response to the clip you just played, yes, I am attracted to nothing but black men. But as a whole, black women are not being smart how they're dating. They're not using the tools, or they don't have the tools to apply. And they are thinking that they're being forced out of dating black men. To me, is wrong, because there's a right and a wrong way to do everything. And this lady specifically, whatever she was saying was, they are leading you on. They are not telling you their intentions. That's our job as women, to know those questions that we need to ask, to make sure that we're dating effectively and that we're getting our needs met. But firstly, we have to learn to communicate those things and not beg for them, not plead with anyone, and move on. That's what I was saying earlier. So I am not on the side of, oh, I only date this race of men. No, because all men suck in every race. There is sucky persons in every race. But as a black woman dating in black spaces, it is hard when you don't know what you're doing. It is more difficult when you're dealing with people, other men that don't know how to date as well. That's the key to it, to me, for me, is you got to know exactly what you want, how to ask the questions that you need to ask, and not be ashamed of asking those questions. And I'm not talking about his bank account. No, you just have to know what you're doing and how to date on everybody, on men and women's side.
Have you always like had this mentality that you have now? Like, have you always kind of, I hate using this phrase, but have you always been someone that was dating with intention? So whether you wanted something serious, whether you didn't want anything serious, were you always, very big on making your intentions known, or finding out what the other person's intentions are?
No, I wasn't. I was not raised and taught how. I was taught that niggas ain't shit. Keep your legs closed. They'll leave you. Be independent. I was raised to be thinking of black men as a scary thing, as danger. Like, all of that. I learned this after going through things, after being in toxic relationships, choosing wrong, and I take full accountability for that. I don't blame my exes for my lack of knowledge on how to pursue exactly what I deserve and how to walk in that to make sure I attract what I deserve, which I will say you can attract so many things. I don't believe in the saying you attract what you are. I don't believe that. I think that if you're sweet, you can attract more things than if you're sour. And now women are being sour as we get older because they're being hurt. But you just got to get smart. If you know what you want, you got to know how to get it. You have to be calculated. It's not black men's fault. It's not black women's fault. But it is our own fault if you're not taking accountability for the lack of knowledge, the lack of therapy, the lack of healing, and the lack of knowing how to date properly and effectively.
So it sounds like you're very big on. Correct me if I'm wrong, but are you saying that these women need to take they have some accountability, damn near all accountability in being in these positions that they're either in right now or that they constantly find themselves in?
I'm saying that everyone needs to take accountability. I'm not on a side of, I'm on the logic side. That's just it. It doesn't have anything to do with men or women. I hate the men and women, black men and women going against each other, which is what I was saying earlier, is that I hate that black women believe that they should have to step out of their race. And I'm saying this also as a stepchild to a white man my mom married, that she never, still married to this day, and he was no different, if not worse. But she jumped through hoops for that white man because of how she looked in public, what it looks like online, how people perceive her relationship. That's all people care about a lot of the time, I feel, when it comes to picking outside of their race, is because they perceive white or Asian or whatever. I never hear black women saying, oh, I'm going to just date Mexican men, or I'm going to just date Arabian men. It's always white, or like, they want to go to where they think these men have money. But I mean, being that my mom was married to a white man, I saw certain things that I've never been attracted to them, and it's no shade, but I just like what I like. But I'm not gonna throw it all away because of some bad experiences. So I'm not picking a side of men or women. I'm not here for that. I'm here for logic. Like, I wish everyone would just logically understand their needs and their hurts and their fuck ups and do better for themselves.
I'm about to ask you a question, and I want you to answer it honestly. Do you think there's a lot of black women, especially younger black women, that have a hard time accepting that they don't necessarily qualify for the caliber of man it is that they desire? Because and I say that Kalina, because you hear a lot of women say, I'm not settling, right? Like, I'm not going to settle. But as a man or a woman, you can't say that you're not settling or you're not going to settle when you're not attracting the caliber of man or woman it is that you desire. When you're not, dealing with that caliber of man or woman that it is that you desire, you can't say that you're not settling. And from what I've observed in real life, Kalina, um, a lot of these women, I don't know if it's because they didn't grow up with fathers. I don't know if just social media has that strong of a hold on them. But these quote unquote standards and expectations that they have, they're not even derived from their own brain. These girls wake up every morning and they go on Black Girl Luxury TikTok and they go on Instagram and they see these baby mamas and girlfriends and wives of these athletes and entertainers and the lifestyles that they portray online. And that is what they ultimately desire. So a lot of them be having men that are readily available for them and more than suitable for them, like, at their presence. And they completely overlook those guys because in their head, they think that they deserve better. But in all reality, they really don't deserve better. Like, the universe is giving them what they deserve. The universe is giving them what they qualify for. Do you agree or disagree with anything that I just said?
I disagree because I am a very spiritual person. So I will say a lot of us black children were women were raised differently than little black boys. Black boys were allowed to do things, have sex earlier. It was okay. Dad, boosted them up to be sexual early. Black women were taught, you have sex, you're fast, you're being fast. Everything is different. We're two different species, first of all. Women are totally different and men are totally different. But those things repeat subconsciously. A lot of abuse happened from your parents. They didn't know any better. Black women we weren't, a lot of us were not taught the birds and the bees. We were just taught, don't do it. Don't have sex. Stop being fast. I mean, we couldn't even wear red nail polish, for God's sake. Like, we were already sexualized early on to believe that, just don't give it up, don't do this, just don't, because you'll get pregnant. And then he'll leave. But black men, it was totally different. So I think that those things attract in your life, whether you want it or not. Subconsciously, you have to heal those bad thoughts and traits that your parents instilled in us as black women. Those things keep repeating even though you don't want them. I do not believe that black women are attracting what they deserve. You can attract anything if you put on a face of makeup, whether you're a 6. I've seen the worst looking women have a good man and be loved for who they are. I don't know, how that works, or if it works, it's not my business. But I do believe that there are beautiful women who were not always beautiful. I do believe that you can learn and change. That's a blessing to grow up. And, when I was 16, I was a totally different girl mentally. When I was 18, I was totally different. When I was 23, and, the same year, last year, in the same year, I'm a 33-year-old woman. So I have matured by therapy, by doing the work, by journaling, by finding my own self and knowing exactly, I've always known what I deserve. It's never been, oh, I deserve a rich man. No, I wasn't raised to believe like, oh, you go get a rich man. And they don't tell us you go out there and you get a man with money so he could take care of you and your baby. That's not what they say. They just say, don't do it. Go get your education. You don't depend on no man, because he'll take it away from you. But black men, I don't know what they told y'all. I'm not a man, but I don't speak for black men because I'm not y'all. And that's one thing I would say is that black men should probably focus on that and not speak for women, because we are not the same at all. And women are very emotional. And I think that has a lot to do with, the lack of actual intelligence, because when your emotions are in it, you can make poor decisions. And black men sometimes don't have those emotions, and they're not comfortable sharing emotions, and they feel like they don't have spaces to share them because growing up, they were told, shut up, nigga. Stop crying. Stop all that bitch ass crying. Like, y'all were raised totally different. So I don't think that it's for us to be bashing one another as adults. We all have childhood trauma as a whole group of people from our own parents. And I don't see a lot of people holding their parents accountable or holding grandparents or grandmas or whatever, or lack of. I don't see that. I see everybody just bashing each other. And to me, it looks like a bunch of hurt kids.
So Kalina, you don't think that a lot of black women have men that are readily available for them and more than suitable for them. They may not make 6 figures a year. They may not be a millionaire or a multimillionaire. They may not, work in the entertainment industry, but they have a job. They're financially stable. They have a car. They have their own place. You don't think there's a lot of black women, especially younger black women, that are completely overlooking these men because in their head, they think that they deserve something better and something better is coming. You don't believe that?
I believe that. And I also believe that there's a lot of black men who do not bow down to God, because there's God in the household. If you want marriage, or if you want to talk about that, there's God, there's the man, there's the woman, and the children. Men are not focusing on God like they need to, like men used to, or women used to. We're out here in the clubs looking for love, in the strip club, self-soothing, whatever we're trying to do. Where is God in all of this? Once I started focusing on my spiritual strength, that's when things changed for me, because now I am a single woman. I don't have like any kind of dating life because I just don't feel like the need to do so. It's not in anger towards black men, but it is also like, well, I'm looking for something specific, and I'm not going to say, well, I'm not settling. I'm just not going to give up on what I know I want. And that's a man who really bows down to God. Firstly, like everything he consults with God that he does. I don't care if you have an apartment, if you have money, whatever. Of course, I'm not going to date someone homeless because he's not going to be a happy man. But there are plenty of men who have all of this and they don't pray. They don't talk to God. They don't seek God's approval when they're alone. A man can say anything to me and do this and do that, but do you have a spiritual bond with a higher power that you really want to please? That's all I care about now. When I was young, I didn't care about that because I didn't think that that mattered. It was all about my selfish need, and I had God behind me, like he wasn't ahead of my life. And I'm not going to say I'm just this super religious person, but I do need black men to realize, where are our praying black men? Where are, you don't have to be all in church doing this. You don't got to be like that, because I don't believe in that, because that is also a construct, a social construct. But there is a lot of black men who do all of this, and all of this, but I don't think that they really are centering God around it all.
So would you consider yourself more spiritual than religious?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. I ask you that because you're not the first woman and you're not the first black woman that, and I say this respectfully, especially in your age demographic, that I've heard say, I want a God-fearing man, I want a man that prays this, that, and the third. And I asked you, are you spiritual or religious? And, you said you're spiritual. Some people actually consider themselves to be religious, whether they're Christian, whether they're Baptist, whatever it is that they may be, they go to church. There's a lot of black men, like single black men, that are God-fearing men. There's a lot of black men that pray every day. There's a lot of black men that read their Bible. So I say that to say, if a woman is looking for a black man or a man that does that, like specifically, I don't really think you have to think too hard about, where to go to find those men. And I'm not a woman, but if I swear up and down that I want a black man that's God fearing, that really prays, that be in his Bible, I would think to go to church. I would think to look into Bible study groups. Like, I don't really think those men are too hard to find.
I don't do that because I don't go looking for no man. That's what men need to understand. Not all of us beautiful, smart, intelligent women, black women, are focused on men. That's not the center. Like, that's not it.
Right.
I'm not gonna go to church looking for that. I know he'll come when it's time, and I know then. When I was looking, I found so much BS. But I'm not actively looking. That's not my job as a woman. I'm a receiver, and I know my place in this world. So my place is not to be out here searching and looking and whatever else. If a man approaches me and he does everything correctly, talks to me right, and I feel that way, okay, that's my choice to make. But I'm just living for me. Like, I don't crave sex. I'm not going to lie and say I don't want to have sex, but it's not like, there are some women who are quick to have sex soon as they hear something they want to hear. Or there's a lot of men who quick to want sex because they're attracted to your body. But I'm more of a mindset person. I'm attracted to mindset. I'm attracted to men who are focused on just really doing what they need to do in their own lives. And it's not like men and women against men and women. It's not that. It's just, I'm a feminine, y'all are masculine. There's nothing wrong with learning and changing the way you think, changing anything. People change. That's a part of life. But I wish as a whole, black men and women would just stop this, because I don't see any other races doing this. And it's quite ridiculous. Like, honestly, I'm a firm believer that love heals all. You don't have to like somebody to love them. You could literally, there's men I see that are nice to me and I know they just want to fuck, or they want my number. Like, I could be nice back to them, and that little niceness, that smile that I give, they take it as flirting. And it's weird to me because I can't even, it's a lot of women that are mean to men because of that.
But Kalina, see, you said not too long ago that, you're confident that, you're going to get the man that you deserve, and, he's going to come get you. And I think that is a problem, and kind of
I don't
goes
literally
into
mean come get me. I mean figuratively. When it's time, it's time. When I make space in my mind, in my life for a entrance of that, it'll be time. But I enjoy being single. And I think that's a lot of people's problem. They're miserable by themselves. They have to go out to the clubs. They got to be seen. They need validation. They need friends. Like people don't know how to sit their ass down and be to themselves and also keep all these opinions to themselves. Like in the comments, I'm seeing people say this and that, pointing fingers. People are digging graves for each other. You might as well dig too, because at the end of the day, nobody wins. And I'm not saying like, can we all just get along? But can we all just focus on ourselves? Like we would be much better off if we master ourselves. And that's what I'm doing. No matter how old I am, I see the comments. Sometimes there are women who are young, beautiful, get married to an, great guy, live the rest of their life, get divorced later. And there are women who get married later because there's lessons you need to learn. Everybody has their own path. I don't judge anybody. And I don't expect a man to just have money. I expect him to be rich in spirit, rich in his happiness, rich, like just happy with himself. Anything that happened to him as a child, he's dealt with. He's sure about himself. He's confident, just like I too am. And I'm working on that. And for me to be married is not a life goal for me. It's not like a end all be all. My life goals are things that I can do for myself. A man is just the apple on the tree. Like it's already bloomed and that, it's produces fruit. It's not like that doesn't complete me. That does not make me, more respected. I saw a man in here bragging. I felt like bragging that he's been married for 5 and 7 years and that all the godly men are married. If marriage is your end all be all of everything, like you just start your life when you get married. And it's harder because you're with another person. That's work. And a lot of people aren't even willing to work on themselves, let alone get into a relationship and be half of someone else.
Okay, so just to be crystal clear before I ask you this next question. So from listening to you, you're not even you're not dating right now, correct?
That does not mean I'm not open. I just don't date. I mean, it's not like a man could ask me on a date, but I'm not like a dater. I'm not like, oh yeah, I'm dating this guy, that guy. Like I'm not doing that. I use my discernment. I know when to sit still. I know when to keep my coochie to myself. I know when I need to go out and have fun. That's something for me to do by myself. I don't have to go somewhere for male attention.
I understand. I understand. I just wanted to ask you, what are you doing as a woman? What are you doing in your life to attract this God-fearing man that you desire right now?
What am I doing in my life? Just what I told you. I'm not worried about it. That does not mean a black woman being single is oftentimes used as daggers against her. Or a black woman of my age, which is what you said earlier, which 33 is young as hell. And it comes fast. If you guys are in the comments younger than that and you're on this live, you have a chance to learn. But I will get what it's already destined when you're born, what you're going to get. And it's based off of your karma. I believe in karma. So what I'm doing right now, behind closed doors, how I'm showing love to people just in my life around me, enjoying and being in gratitude for what I do have. That's it. I don't have to focus on, okay, I need to do this and that. I'm just being myself, making myself better and better. When that man is put in my life, I'm there right on time and he's right on time. That's it.
Kalina, if I said that
Hold on. Ivy, I never said I was a Christian. I said I'm spiritual, baby. I need you to listen. Go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting.
If I said that in life, that, if people, if people have things that they want to accomplish, if they set goals, there's certain things that they need to do, i.e. work that needs to be done, in order to give themselves a chance to accomplish whatever goal it is that they have. Would you agree with me on that?
What did you say again? I need.
Yeah. So if I said that in life, if someone sets a goal, if someone is trying to, achieve something, there is work that needs to be done in order for them to accomplish that goal. Would you agree or disagree with that?
Absolutely.
Right. So like and I'm not talking about you specifically. What's up, Big Booty Niqua? I'm not talking about you
Don't
specifically.
say booty Niqua.
Uh, I'm saying though. So for example, if someone wants to lose weight, if someone wants to put on muscle, if someone wants to lose weight and put on muscle, it would make sense for if they're not already in the gym, it would make sense for them to go to the gym. It would make sense for them to diet so they can lose the weight and put on the amount of muscle that they want to put on, correct?
Exactly. And you don't say, well, I deserve muscle. Why are
Right.
these machines working for me? Like,
Right.
what's wrong
So
with these
this
machines? Yeah.
Right. So the point that I'm trying to make is there are, like I told you earlier, there are a lot of black women that think that they deserve a certain caliber of man. And
There's
and I,
nothing
I think I
wrong.
think one second. I
Mhm.
think as human beings, not just black women, just human beings in general, that's not how the world works. Nobody deserves anything. You get what you earn, you get what you work for. That is how you even give yourself an opportunity, give yourself a chance to be able to obtain what it is that you want. So often people, both men and women can understand that from that perspective, but for some reason, there are a lot of black women again. I told you from what I've observed, Black Girl Luxury TikTok, Instagram, they desire they desire the life that they see these baby mamas and these girlfriends and these wives of these athletes and entertainers that they see on their phone every day. There are more than enough. There are a lot of black men that are going to be the man and are the man that these women actually desire. This loving, caring, compassionate man, this financially stable man, this man that has his own vehicle, this man that has his own place. There are a bunch of those men. But what I'm telling you is when we continuously see these videos, even now, we're not even a week into 2024. And this woman is making this video, and all these other black women are making videos co-signing what she's saying. They're the ones that are making dating difficult for themselves.
But why does that bother y'all? That has nothing to
It
do with
doesn't, it doesn't, it doesn't bother me, but
those
it's something
women's
that
lives that like
one
other
second, one
people.
second, one second, one
Well,
second.
I want to say this. Other people's lives don't inspire me or hinder me from doing anything. What they eat does not make me shit. Now, going online, if you're looking at this and that and you're like, oh, I want that, that's you. But that doesn't mean like that does not have nothing to do to me with. I feel like you're trying to drive this conversation to one point, and there's two sides of every story, especially when
What's the
you're
point that I'm trying to drive it to?
I mean, you keep going back to women deserving this and women, black women feel like they deserve this. Now, being a feminine woman is receiving. Okay, so me journaling, whatever I do by myself, creating, doing feminine things for myself, that's my power. Y'all's power is giving, not to women, but giving, putting out things, putting in work. The same work does not require, like men do different work than women. What makes me happy is doing my makeup, feeling pretty. Y'all can go work out. It's totally different. It's apples and oranges we're comparing here is what I'm saying. Like there is no comparison. The fact is work on yourself. It's very simple. Work on yourself. Stop having sex. Keep your dick to yourself. If you want a woman that is not out here promiscuous, why do you feel like as a man, if you want to talk how you were talking, why do men feel like they deserve a woman who's a virgin or who ain't got no kids, or whatever, but they can have sex with a woman just when they want to call up a booty call that they've been, having sex with for 5 years or plus? It's not the same. We're comparing apples and oranges. It's what I'm saying. It's centering yourself. Centering yourself. If you feel like you find a woman and you want to lay with them, if you feel like you find a man and you want to lay with them, let it be somebody that you plan on being with for a while. Or if you want to be in a relationship with them, whatever it may be, Do it right. Everybody. Like, I really need everybody to play their role and just do what they need to do. Stop asking women why they feel. I don't know those women. I don't know. But it's going to happen. You're going to have so many people. Like, ball players are also married with wives and rich, and they're going to the strip club making it rain on strippers. I don't know, but that's them. That doesn't mean that everybody wants that. That don't mean that just because women are on, black girl TikTok, luxury TikTok. I mean, to me, it sounds more like you have a personal vendetta against the black girls who live like that. There are black girls who aren't even on social media. There are black women like the typical, like a man was in here saying she's a 6. That's why she does this. She's a 6. Like, there are so many men that are below 6s that women date for their hearts because they love them. It's not about women's beauty. It is about beauty as a woman, but it's not always about. Everybody don't find everybody a 6. Like, you can't tell me somebody's a 6 and think that I'm gonna say they're a 6 too. I have my own brain. I'm my own person. Like, I wish everybody would stop categorizing every single thing. And no one's mad. I'm a black woman with intelligence, and you should probably go lay next to your wife. It's getting late, Ivy.
I'm trying to get you to tell me since because I don't see black men I don't see black men on the internet, especially on this platform of TikTok. Yeah, definitely word salad. Making videos.
It's not a word salad.
But I'm trying to get you to tell me,
But
for
I
all of these black women that are having these issues dating black men,
I'm not the black women's representative.
Can you please let me finish, Kalina? Can you please let me finish? I wasn't finished. I didn't interrupt you.
You're agreeing with word salad and all these.
Okay, just let me finish because I didn't interrupt you when you were talking.
Yeah, because you really can't interrupt intelligence. Like, I think that's what's really bothering.
Okay. Can I please finish talking?
Oh, I'll help you finish talking. I'll just get off because I said what I needed to say.
Okay, go ahead and do that. 33 years old, talking about you spiritual and you not religious, and this God-fearing man is going to come find. This God-fearing man is not coming to find you. That's why he ain't came to find you yet. That's why you on my live in a boat with these other women. Your ass need to go pray. You need to go pray. You need to go pray for that man. You need to go pray that he pop up this year, because clearly in 33 years he ain't popped up. You need to go pray that he pop up. That's what you need to do. She one of those women. she one of those women. She got all the answers, but don't got the answer in her own life. Ain't that something, y'all? She got all the answers, but don't got the answers in her own life. Where's your God-fearing man, Kalina? Why he ain't come to get you yet? Clearly what you doing not working.